Hello everyone, it's Ed with Brain MTG. Today we have an interesting topic. It's about grading, standardization, the disappearance of near mint, and how it's all tied together. Let's discuss.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
So, I would like to draw a little bit of my experience from coins for the introduction to this. I've been talking lately about near mint and how it's disappearing, and how one seller's definition of near mint is another seller's light play, is a buyer's moderately play. But okay, so let's talk about that idea. And let's look at this first. This is a chart of how people grade coins, okay? And when you grade raw coins, it's not smart to give an exact grade, so they do the same thing. BU is brilliant uncirculated. That means 60 MS 63 plus. UNC means 60 to 63. You know, AU means 50 to 60. So on and so forth. If you look at this visual aid, you can see that some parts of the coin matter more than others. If you dig out a chunk of the face that's on the obverse, that's going to matter a lot more than if there's a scratch on the field somewhere, you know? So now let's look at a card. What's the most important? Some people say centering. I think probably most people are going to say centering because it's what jumps up at you at first. So how can we standardize card grading? I think it's going to have to be something like how coins do, where we're going to have a point grading system for Magic cards. Like, okay, let's talk about the three companies. You have BGS, which has subgrades, but how do they grade them? You don't know. Is it just somebody's opinion that day? Is one grader is 8.5, another grader is 9.5? That's kind of messed up. So again, standardization. We need that. Like, we need that if there's one tick on the corner that's a 0.5, where another person might see it as a -1. You know, we need a definition on that. CGC. Now, we all know that a card from CGC, you crack it out of its case, it's going to get a different grade from BGS. Why? Again. And did you know that centering for CGC doesn't matter as much? Like, if you get an 8.5 in centering, you can still get a 9 plus on the overall grade. Even 9.5, I think it goes by a full point. That's crazy. PSA, no freaking subgrades, no half grades. Okay, it's totally different. Everybody's all over the place. With coins, they agree. It's a freaking scale of 70. Okay, some people are harsher than others, but it's still the same scale. We don't even have the same scale. So it's kind of worrisome. I don't know. We need to figure out how to standardize the nicks, the scratches, the dents, and all that on any cards, because we don't know what's the most important grade, what should have the most impact, what should have the least impact. So let me ask you this. On white border cards, are edges and corners less important because you're not going to see it as much? It's a possibility. There's something called eye appeal with coins and cards too. It's something to consider. So when we talk about a scale, we might have to develop something like a 100-point scale, right? Because there's nuances. You have a BGS 9.5 basic. That's when 3 grades are 9.5 and 1 is a 9.0. Then you have a BGS 9.5 quad, where all 4 are 9.5s. All 4 subgrades are 9.5s. BGS quad plus, 3 9.5s and a 10. Quad plus plus, 2 9.5s and 2 10s. Then you have pristine gold label, 3 10s, 1 9.5. Pristine black label, 4 10s, okay? So what is that black label? Like it gets 100 points out of 100. Pristine gold label is like a 99. A quad plus plus is 98. A quad plus 97. A quad is a 96, and a basic is a 95. Kind of makes sense, right? Think about that. So I just think it needs to be standardized. I think that if we had a 100-point system and everybody went by this system, we might have a better shot at buying cards and getting what you were looking for when you bought that card. Because nowadays, that's a problem. Somebody says it's near mint and you get it and it's light play, you're not going to be happy because TCG Player has a nebulous interpretation of what near mint and light play is, and it can be interpreted. That's ridiculous because this is supposed to be it's not supposed to be subjective. You know, like for coins, this coin is in this condition, period. This card is in this condition, period. I mean, it's the same type of thing if you think about it. Coins were printed to be used, cards were printed to be played. Circulation on both of them happens. So, I don't know. Something to consider. We need grading standardization. And I've been thinking about it for a long time and how to make that happen. It's just something I've been thinking about for myself and where I might go with my push. Like, so with coins, there's something called CAC. I'll show a picture. It's a little sticker, boop, that a company, not a third party, but a fourth party, a third party, they look at the coin and the grade in the slab and they say, okay, there's A grades for that grade, there's B grades, and there's C grades. The C's mean this barely made it into that grade, and maybe it should be a grade lower. The B's mean this is that grade, period. No higher, no lower. The A grades, that's the top 20%, and that means that these coins are the top of the crop for this grade, and they might be a little bit higher. This third party then takes a little sticker, boop, holographic one that if you rip it off, it'll damage itself. But they're basically saying, I approve that this coin is this grade at, the A grade for this grade. I think maybe there's room for something like that in Magic cards. I think it comes down to the old, the Latin saying, who watches the watchers, right? That's basically what it comes down to. Standardization. All right. If you're going to buy any cards today, please remember to use my TCG Player affiliate link in the description. It is free to use and it helps a lot. Click on it, shop like normal. Thank you very much. Otherwise, remember to like and subscribe and check out my Patreon. Peace.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?